William Afton, a brilliant robotics engineer, co-founder of Fredbear's Family Diner, and a child murderer. On the surface, William seemed like the perfect businessman. He created revolutionary animatronics alongside his partner, Henry Emily. But beneath that facade lurked something far darker. William had an obsession. After the murders began, he later discovered something called remnant, the essence of human souls that could grant life to metal and circuits. And children. Children had the purest remnant of all. In 1985, he began a killing spree, luring 5 children into the back rooms of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza while wearing a Spring Bonnie suit. These murders would earn him the nickname the Purple Guy, a name that would haunt the halls of Freddy's forever. But William's story doesn't end with murder. After years of being haunted by the spirits of his victims, William made a fatal mistake. Cornered in an abandoned Freddy's location, he climbed into the same Spring Bonnie suit he once used to commit his crimes. The spring locks failed. Metal mechanisms snapped shut, piercing his flesh and crushing his body. William Afton died, but he didn't stay dead. He became Springtrap, a walking corpse trapped in a prison of metal and agony, condemned to suffer for eternity. Clara Afton, the mother lost to time and tragedy. In the official 5 Nights at Freddy's games, she's barely mentioned, a ghost in the Afton family story, but her absence speaks volumes about the horror that consumed this family. In the Fall-Off novel trilogy, The Silver Eyes, The Twisted Ones, The Fourth Closet, we learn about William's wife, a woman who tried to hold together a family, crumbling under the weight of secrets and death. Though not named Clara in the books either, fans have adopted the name from other sources, including fan-made media and the sister location minigame animations. She watched her husband grow distant, obsessed with his work, his animatronics, his dark experiments. Clara likely knew something was wrong. How could she not? Elizabeth, gone. The crying child, dead. Michael, consumed with guilt and chasing shadows. Some theories suggest Clara divorced William, unable to bear the weight of his crimes. Others believe she died off-screen, yet another victim of the Afton curse. In Sister Location's animated miniseries, we see a character resembling her, trapped in a loveless, possibly abusive relationship with a man who had become a monster. Though not explicitly confirmed in the games, Clara Afton represents the collateral damage, the family left behind when evil takes root. She is the mother who couldn't save her children, the wife who couldn't save her husband from himself. Her tragedy is silence, a woman erased from the timeline, lost to a story that moved beyond her ability to change it. Elizabeth Afton was William's only daughter, a bright little girl with green eyes and an insatiable curiosity about her father's creations. She loved the animatronics, especially one in particular, Circus Baby, William's most advanced creation, designed for his new location, Circus Baby's entertainment and rental. But Circus Baby wasn't just an entertainer. She was a killer, built with a mechanical claw hidden in her stomach, designed to capture children. William warned Elizabeth to stay away from Circus Baby. "She can make balloons. Have you seen her make balloons?" Elizabeth would beg. But William knew the danger. He knew what Circus Baby was truly capable of. But children don't always listen. During a private testing session, when Elizabeth was left alone with Circus Baby, she got too close. The claw activated. Circus Baby killed Elizabeth Afton. Her death was hidden behind a cover story. Gas leaks, technical issues, anything to keep the truth buried. The location was never open to the public. Elizabeth's soul became trapped inside Circus Baby. She retained her memories, her voice, her personality, but now she was part of the machine that killed her. Her green eyes were a haunting reminder of who she used to be. She still calls William Daddy, still seeks his approval, even from beyond the grave. The tragedy of Elizabeth Afton isn't just her death. It's that even in death, she remained Daddy's little girl, trapped forever in a metal prison of his creation. Crying Child, the youngest Afton child, never given a name in the games, known only as the Crying Child, or Evan in fan theories, a terrified little boy living in constant fear of the very animatronics his father created. The Crying Child was different from his siblings. Where Elizabeth was curious and Michael was cruel, this little boy was broken. He carried plushies everywhere, especially his beloved Fredbear plush, his only friend in a world of monsters. Every day was a nightmare. The animatronics terrified him. His brother Michael tormented him with pranks, wearing masks, jumping out of closets. "These are my friends," Michael would taunt, holding up Freddy masks. But the worst was yet to come. 1983. His birthday party at Fredbear's Family Diner. Michael and his friends grabbed the crying boy, dragging him toward the stage where Fredbear performed. "Let's give him a big kiss," they laughed, shoving the child's head into Fredbear's mouth. The spring locks were sensitive. The mechanism failed, The bite of 83. The crying child's skull was crushed. For days he lay in a coma, surrounded by the plushies that couldn't protect him. And then darkness. But death wasn't the end. Many believe the crying child became one of the spirits haunting Golden Freddy, a ghostly animatronic that appears and disappears, watching, waiting, seeking vengeance for a childhood stolen and a life cut short. The crying child represents every fear, every nightmare, every child who ever trembled in the dark. His story is the heart of Five Nights at Freddy's, the innocent destroyed by the very things meant to bring joy. Micheal Afton, the eldest son who carried the weight of his family's sins. As a teenager, Micheal was cruel, a bully who tormented his younger brother with pranks and scares. But one prank, one moment of cruelty, changed everything. In 1983, at his brother's birthday party at Fredbear's Family Diner, Micheal and his friends thought it would be funny to give the crying child a kiss from Fredbear. They lifted him up toward the animatronic's mouth. Crunch. The bite of 83. Micheal watched his little brother's skull get crushed by the very animatronics their father created. The guilt, the horror. It consumed him. Years later, Micheal learned the truth about his father's crimes. He made a choice to hunt down William Afton and undo the damage his family had caused. Micheal took jobs at every Freddy location, putting himself in mortal danger night after night. But Michael's story takes a darker turn. In sister location, he was scooped, his insides removed by Circus Baby and replaced with molten metal and wires. Enard, a fusion of animatronics, used his body as a skin suit to escape into the world above. Micheal survived, somehow. His body rotted, turned purple, but he kept going, kept searching for his father. In his own words, "Father, it's me, Micheal. I did it. I found it. It was right where you said it would be." Micheal Afton spent his entire life and afterlife trying to fix what his family broke, a son seeking redemption for sins that were never truly his to bear. Charlotte Emily was Henry Emily's daughter and William Afton's first victim. But death was not the end of her story. It was the beginning of her mission. Charlotte was the daughter of Henry Emily, who was murdered by William Afton after she was locked out of a Fazbear Entertainment and Care establishment, possibly making her one of Afton's earliest victims. When Charlie died, something extraordinary happened. The puppet, a security animatronic designed to watch over children, found her body. Rain fell on her lifeless form, and somehow her soul merged with the machine. But Charlie didn't become vengeful like the other spirits. She became their protector. She would grant the spirits of Afton's victims new life in the form of possessing the pizzeria's animatronics. The puppet gave life to the dead, helping murdered children find new forms in Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy. Through every game, every timeline, the puppet watches. She appears when children are in danger, her music box playing a haunting lullaby. She's both comforting and terrifying, a guardian angel with hollow eyes and a perpetual grin. Charlie's story comes full circle in Pizzeria Simulator, where her father Henry finally acknowledges her sacrifice. Henry acknowledges the presence of his daughter, expressing his sorrow and regret for the pain she endured. He assures her that her part in this dark tale is finally over and that she can rest. The puppet represents hope in the darkness, proof that even in death, love and protection can endure. Henry Emily, William Afton's business partner, co-founder of Fredbear's Family Diner, and the man who carried the weight of every tragedy that followed. Henry created wonders, but his creations became instruments of horror. In the beginning, Henry was an innovator. He and William built Fredbear's Family Diner with the dream of bringing joy to children. Henry helped create the original animatronics, Fredbear and Spring Bonnie, marvels of engineering that could entertain and delight. But Henry's partner had other plans. William used Henry's creations to lure and murder children. The very animatronics meant to entertain became prisons for tortured souls. Henry is haunted by the tragedies that stemmed from the animatronics he helped create, particularly the loss of his daughter, Charlie, who becomes the puppet. For decades, Henry lived with the guilt, but in Pizzeria Simulator, he finally acted. Henry lured all the possessed animatronics, including his own daughter, into one final trap, a building with no exit, designed to burn everything to ash. In his final speech, Henry addresses each spirit personally, offering them rest and peace. But most heartbreakingly, he speaks to his daughter. "My daughter, if you can hear me, I knew you would return as well. It's in your nature to protect the innocent." Henry Emily chose to end the nightmare, even if it meant destroying everything he'd ever created, including himself. His final act was one of love, sacrifice, and redemption. Cassidy, the most vengeful spirit in the Five Nights at Freddy's universe. While other children found peace, Cassidy refused to let go, refused to forgive, refused to rest. Cassidy was one of William Afton's victims, a child whose life was cut short by the purple guy's cruelty. But unlike the others, Cassidy's rage burned hotter than any fire Henry could set. Cassidy became Golden Freddy, not just possessing the animatronic, but becoming something more, a vengeful spirit capable of appearing anywhere, anytime, defying the laws of reality itself. In Ultimate Custom Night, we learn Cassidy's true power. Even after Springtrap burned, even after Henry's fire consumed everything, Cassidy wasn't finished. She dragged William Afton into a personal hell, Ultimate Custom Night, where she could torment him forever. The one you should not have killed. That's what the other spirits call Cassidy, because she's the one who will never stop, never forgive, never let William Afton find peace. Cassidy represents the price of evil, that some acts are so heinous, so unforgivable, that they echo through eternity. She is William Afton's eternal punishment, ensuring that he truly does always come back to suffer. Well, that's Afton's Family for you. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and click one of the videos on the screen.